Diane, first, congratulations
Thank you.
on being the 2014 recipient of the Beloit Daily News Lawrence A. Raymer Headliner Award. That's a mouthful.
It is.
Thank you very much for accepting that award and for giving us a little bit of time to talk about it, and talk about all the good things that you do.
Thank you. Thank you.
What we'd like to start out talking about are your, you've been doing things for quite a while here, long time. Matter of fact, you in a way are our second, or our first two-time recipient, because you and Ken shared this a few years back. In recent years, though, you've done so much. The Eclipse Center, the additions here at the Ironworks, the renovations at the Beloit Inn, now the Ironworks Hotel, and Maryland Houston's, and the Phoenix project, and it just goes on and on and on. Why do you do this?
I've been in Beloit since 1968 and came here because of the Beloit College.
Mm-hmm.
And Kenneth and I built our businesses here. And I believe everybody should give back. So I'm fortunate to be able to be here and to be able to do that. This community is a great community. So whatever I can help, I will.
Clearly Beloit is special
It's very
to
special.
you.
It's very special.
What makes Beloit special?
The people. You start with the people. And I can go all the way back to 1968 to last year. And a lot of them the same people, and many new people, but it's how they meet you and they greet you and they welcome you and they give you a chance, from the banking to the city leaders, to the other businesses, which we have great businesses here in town. And the fact that the people in this here community step up to the plate and they work as a team. They don't see the many challenges we've had to face in Beloit. They see them just as challenges, but challenges looking for a solution.
You have business interests and that take you all over the world.
Yes.
Do you find that there's something really unique about Beloit in the way that maybe it has a bootstrapping kind of mentality where people are just willing to jump in and try to do whatever is needed to be done?
Absolutely, and I can't really put my finger on what differentiates Beloit from other communities. I just see the goodness that comes out of all of it. I really do. I've never seen people come together and work on a project and work on a problem and come up with a solution. And it may be one that's going to take 10 years. They're looking down the road. And it's made all the difference in Beloit. You remember it, Bill, as much as I do. We went through some tough times. The building that ABC sits in sat empty. I looked at it for 20 years. Looked like it belonged in a war zone that had been left standing. To be able to take something like that old building and build it back up, worked with the state, with the city, with the county. Everybody worked together to put life back in that building. And
it was amazing. I recall being in that building before anything was done.
Yeah.
And Ken was talking about what was going to happen.
Yeah.
And you're looking around and thinking, this place has been empty for what, almost 50 years, right?
Yes, yes.
And empty vacant for almost 50 years. And he said, I'd drive a semi across that roof. It's just fine.
And he would have, and it is. And structurally, it built train engines and ship engines, so it has the capacity of holding that truck he was talking about. But I remember when we got that building done, we had Les Aspen and Tommy Thompson on that roof. And those were great days when two parties could come together for a common cause, and we got a job done.
There shouldn't be anything partisan about success.
Absolutely shouldn't be.
Absolutely should not be.
I guess they believed in Ken and I way back then, and that was a long, long time ago, 25 years ago when we started to put that together, to be able to move into that building.
And since that point, had taken basically the whole hilltop.
Yes,
And
pretty much
remade
the
the whole
hilltop.
hilltop into a show place.
It's home to many, many people.
One of the things that you often hear said around town, in looking at whether it's the Heritage View,
Mhm.
Phoenix building, what you're doing with the ironworks, is that, you know, you're really rolling the dice, you're taking a risk, because you know, you're a businesswoman, you're obviously a very savvy and successful businesswoman. Some of this has been done where you're not quite sure of the ROI, I suspect. Is that because, Beloit, is that special to you?
There's no guarantees that these projects are going to put a strong bottom line, you know, but do I build them thinking that I'll never make a bottom line on it at all?
Mm-hmm.
Generally, I can see through that down the road. I believe that these are absolutely good businesses.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they need to be occupied, they need to be visited. I mean, the restaurant, you open a restaurant, to make a business successful, you need to have the community support it.
Sure you do.
I believe it does more than just make a bottom line. I believe that if people come there, they meet there, the businesses begin to thrive there, they stay in the hotel. There's many other ways that you can get a bottom line. Maybe the restaurant isn't making money, but the hotel is making money, but the whole community as a whole is making money. The other restaurants in town are making money.
Mm-hmm.
It's a civic responsibility. I don't
By
have...
the way, the steaks are great.
They are good.
They're
They are good.
great.
It's a steak joint. That's what we wanted to put our name on it for, and keep the prices affordable, not off the charts. But we've got some really good steaks and food there, and we've you know, what was really great about that restaurant? Most of those people were there before. We spent 90 days training and retraining.
Mm-hmm.
So it's wonderful that you can get it right, sometimes the second time.
And if anyone who may be watching this video wants a little history lesson, the walls at Maryland, Houston are filled with pictures of old Beloit.
That's correct.
That a lot of old timers will recognize, and a lot of newcomers will want to know more about.
Except for the room that I call the Tomorrow Room down at the end of the hall,
Mm-hmm.
which are pictures of Beloit today
Mm-hmm.
in a little bit of color. So,
I'd like to ask you, how would you define the word success?
well, success to me is accomplishing something that I've set my mind to accomplish, and seeing the result have a positive effect, and not just me,
Mm-hmm.
but whatever I was trying to accomplish there. Success for myself was a long time ago. If you're looking at, I drive a nice car and I live in a nice home, and I've got beautiful children and they have beautiful lives. Success for me for the rest of my life is being able to give back in ways that I want to give back and continue to grow Beloit.
Terrific, and I
Great
assume it
jobs.
has something to do with why you take pride in winning these Gallup Great Workplace Awards, that it's something you're able to share with other people.
It's wonderful. It's probably the biggest award that ABC ever receives, and we've received it 7 consecutive years
Mm-hmm.
as being one of the best workplaces in America. And it's wonderful. We don't have to work hard to attract people to come to ABC. Actually, we can attract people in all of our businesses, because those same core values that ABC was built on are the same core values we brought across the river over here at Hendricks Holdings.
Mm-hmm.
And we're building 22 more companies with those same core values.
Fantastic. I'd like to ask you one last question, something I'm sure a lot of people would like to hear. What's next?
You know those buildings that we keep working on, Bill?
Mm-hmm.
Those buildings are just buildings until they're occupied. And whether it's the Phoenix building being built for young professionals to live, because life has changed, young professionals now stay young professionals for a long time, and they want to be in the happening place, which is now downtowns of small communities as well as large cities. The ironworks, everything over here on the side, filling them up with jobs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we have 3 new industries over here in the last 24 months. All are going to exceed 100 people or better, some as many as 300, in these old buildings that we're renovating. And that's only the beginning. So creating jobs for people, putting life inside of those buildings, That's the future of the buildings that we're renovating. Future for me, something that we're just starting to work on is the schools. And somebody's sitting out here listening to this video, they're saying, what is she doing with the schools? I know I was instrumental in having a voice and saying we need to get VOTEC training back in our high schools. You know, career training for those that maybe don't want a path that leads to a bachelor's degree. It's not in their cards, it's not in their wallet to be able to go to school, it's maybe not in their desire. They want to have a career, and maybe it's advanced manufacturing or welding or building homes or construction, my trade. But the schools are now teaching it as freshmen. You can take courses now at our high schools. And when Governor Walker was down here at walkthrough, he says, you're doing in Beloit what other cities are only talking about doing. I want to get involved in trying to have a social impact on this whole community through education. And it's much deeper than just taking those 400 or 500 children that graduate every year from Beloit Memorial and another 100 from Turner, but getting them involved in a career path that's maybe going to change some of the social issues that we face, is that their children will grow up with 2 parents in a household. And that's the real problem that we face in Beloit, are some of the social issues, but just enabling them to continue to do what they've been doing is not the answer. Building careers, teaching people to be responsible and see opportunity, it's still there, we just have to work harder to find it. And that's going to be my goal.
Terrific. Diane, thank you very much for your
You're
time.
welcome.
We're very appreciated, and we're so pleased to have you as this year's recipient of the
Thank
Headliner
you.
Award.
Proud to receive it, thank you.